Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this beautiful setup here at the Oman Cricket Academy, the Al Emirat Cricket Ground, hosting the second T20 game between Sri Lanka and Oman. DAFANEWS Oman versus Sri Lanka 2021, co-powered by Daraz SportGully. The second T20, Oman versus Sri Lanka, coming in live from Oman Cricket Academy. The first game was won marginally by Sri Lanka, and today I'm so sure that the host team Oman would want to go ahead and build it back for themselves. Joining me in the commentary box is Sundaram.
Good evening, Neil. Great to be back here, absolutely. And I think it's important for Oman to try and get some confidence back in this game so that at least they can square the second T20 and also get a much needed practice that they badly needed so that they're all ready for the actual action when it starts in a week's time.
Well, that's absolutely just a week left for the big event, the mega event, the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. And now this is going to be the opportunity for the home side to go big.
But the most important thing is let's see what the pitch has in store. Neil was there on the ground. Let's see what he has to say.
Beautiful setting, the Al Emirat Cricket Stadium at the Oman Cricket Academy in Muscat in Oman. We are here for the second T20 game between Sri Lanka and the host Oman. Time for some pitch report. Now this wicket is a beautiful hard wicket. Let's look at the surface here. Here at the fuller length we'll see some cracks, but mind you, these are absolutely insignificant. A spinner will definitely not bowl here, so it's not going to be any trouble. Bowl a little back of the length and you will get that extra carry. What would you want to do if you win the toss? Well, I would reckon go ahead and pick up to bowl first, get to know the target and get along to bat well. Ball comes really well in the second half.
I think that definitely seems to be a good decision because depending on which team obviously wins the toss, definitely if it is Sri Lanka, probably they would definitely want to bowl first, given that they had an opportunity to bat first in the previous game and a much needed practice to also try and see if they can chase it down.
Well, absolutely. I mean, for both the teams, it's equally important to try their ammunition, what they've got in both the scenarios. But I tell you, this wicket is a beautiful, beautiful wicket. It's nice and hard. The ball will come onto the bat very nicely. A little bit in for the seam bowlers early on. But if you're starting with your spinners, well, it might just be a different trick that you're pulling out of the hat.
We didn't see much turn either in the last couple of games that were played here. I think the first 5 overs probably assisted the medium pacers a lot more, except the leg spinner in the second game yesterday. But I think it seems to be a fairly good wicket. It holds on for the entire 40 overs.
Well, yes, definitely. It is a belter of a wicket that we are going to experience. And this is something that will decide where the match goes. And it is obviously the toss. Now, see, this is what we're doing is all under the COVID protocol. So we as presenters don't go down. It is the umpire. It is the captains who go down to do the toss. And this is exactly where the toss happened. It was Sri Lankan skipper who won the toss. And as the umpire signaled, they've chosen to bowl first.
Times have changed indeed, right? So it's all signals all around. And I think it's a good decision for Sri Lanka, as we discussed. Your thoughts?
Well, absolutely a good call there. I mean, looking at the wicket, you would want to, bowl first, get some runs on board and see how much you want to chase. Also, as a practice game, you'd want to consider that just in case when you have been put under the pressure of chasing it down, how well can you do that?
And equally important for Oman to probably just look at it differently. They can also probably set up a target, familiar conditions. Wicket, as you said, is pretty good to bat on and definitely lasting the entire 40 overs. That's a side for you. Oman, Zishan Maqsood leading the side. Mohammad Naseem is the wicketkeeper. Jatinder Singh, explosive opening batsman. Aqib Ilyas, Mohammad Nadeem, Ayan Khan, Sandeep Gode, Kalimullah, Kashyap Prajapati, Ahmed Fayaz Bhatt and Bilal Khan.
Well, as far as the Sri Lankan side is concerned, led by the skipper Dasun Shanaka, Dinesh Chandimal, the man behind the wickets, Pathum Silva, Charit Asalanka, there is Avishka Fernando, Bhanuka Rajapaksa, Chamika Pereira, Lahiru Kumara, Akila Pereira, Mahiz Tisanka, and then it's rounded up by Binura Fernando.
Absolutely, it'll be interesting to see that, how Oman goes about it in the first 5 overs. Let's see what happens. This game, Oman versus Sri Lanka, the second T20 coming to you live from Oman Cricket Academy.
Beautiful, beautiful ground this. What you are watching right now, it is the building of the academy. This is exactly where the board office is situated. Right behind this building is the practice area, and a phenomenal setup coming in right around the ground. From the ground, it's turned into a stadium. A phenomenal ground, phenomenal venue. Will be hosting the T20 World Cup very soon. What we'll do is we'll quickly have a look at the previous game at the same venue and get some visuals before this game gets going.
That's from the sweetest spot of the bat. Takes a brilliant return catch. And that'll be the end of an exceptional innings from Liton Das. Fantastic catch in the end. Samay, take a bow. Second wicket for you.
Almost a Yorker, but punished maximum.
Oh, he's got it from the middle of the bat. Mehdi Hassan's given him the room. And that room will result in a 6. A clinical finish for them, winning by a big margin of 60 runs.
Well, the game was yesterday. Oman 11 versus Bangladesh 11. Bangladesh 11 beating Oman 11 by 60 runs. But what was really impressive was the way Oman approached that total. Beautiful sights there. The crescent of the moon. Are you aware of the craters that can be seen over here?
I definitely cannot define any of them, but yeah, pleasing sight, absolutely. And this is as good as it gets. You know, it's probably one of the best stadiums that at least I have seen, and beautifully come up in the last 30 days. And thankfully, the cyclone didn't affect much.
Well, yes, God's been kind. In this part of the world, Cyclone Shaheen did some damage, but this beautiful ground was spared. And we have some amazing games of cricket that have been played on this particular venue. So over the last month and a half, we saw the touring Mumbai side coming in, playing against the Oman side. A bunch of T20s and 50-over games. Post that, there's been the WCL League. And now, it's the Sri Lanka versus Oman T20 series. There was also a little Bangladesh game that happened yesterday. But then, cricket galore.
Absolutely, and it has been a good build-up, definitely for Oman. In the last 1 month, they have had some very good opportunity, great practice, and probably for them to be absolutely ready before the big day. And as far as Oman is concerned, I think the player to really watch out is Jatinder Singh, who will probably open the batting. He has a pretty good record, has played about 10 games at an average of almost close to 40. And obviously, the key man, Zishan, and we'll talk about it. Plenty of crowd support coming up.
Well, yes, phenomenal to see. So many Sri Lankan fans. Some Sri Lankan flags and Oman flags on display. From what we've heard, it's a full house today.
This ground can hold about 3,000 people, and that really augurs well for this part of the world, because cricket is picking up. There's a lot of investment going on, and there are a lot of young children who are picking up this sport here.
Well, yes, that's extremely important to get the crowd going and to start cricket at the grassroots level. Look at there's so many people coming in to support. They're all vaccinated, mind you. Double vaccination is extremely important before you get into the stadium. All right, so the men in blue are in, the Sri Lankan boys, and there's a loud cheer for the home side and for the touring side as well. The home boys, Jatinder Singh and Kashyap Prajapati, the two openers. Kashyap Prajapati couldn't do much in the previous game against Sri Lanka, nor was Jatinder able to convert big. But today probably is their opportunity. We saw Kashyap Prajapati hitting a massive century in the games against Mumbai. And so did Jatinder, hit a huge ton in the WCL games. Big names as far as umpiring is concerned, officiating matches in this part of the world.
Some very good support coming for the Sri Lankan team, and as you can hear, There's a lot of cheer. And cricket is a sport, obviously. I mean, any sport for that matter definitely depends on the spectators' participation as well. And the last 1.5 years, we have hardly seen any spectators in any of the grounds, I guess. And this augurs well for the sport, as long as we follow the protocol and make sure that safety is taken care. Jatinder Singh, 40 matches, close to almost about 1,000 runs at a strike rate of 107 with 6 50s, and definitely want to probably add on to the number of 50s.
Well, yes, definitely. He's a class act. Absolutely sensible when it comes to batting, but at the same time, can hit those big ones, dispatch them comfortably. Playing on the home surface. Sri Lanka starting with pace attack. Evident. And I wouldn't be surprised if they choose the back of the length area for their primary attack zone.
Having seen Jatinder in the last couple of games, obviously he is an aggressive batsman. And what he needs to be a little bit mindful is that not really try and play any of those cute shots initially. Just try and gauge a little bit before he opens up. First ball coming up.
Off the hips, will get a single, and runs on board for Oman, runs on board for Jatinder.
Always a great feeling to be off the mark. First ball, picking up a single, loosens up your limbs and just gently walking over to the non-striker end.
Kashyap Prajapati. Again, a phenomenal batter. Bats with a lot of confidence and packs a punch. Very compact. Erring in line there. Will get a single.
That's a very good single. Well judged, early call, and equally well responded by Jatinder. Both the batsmen off the mark. Definitely will give them a good feel so far.
Extremely important to get those singles going early on. Umpire signaling a leg by for KP. He'll have to wait to get that run on for his name. But as long as the team's getting a run, he wouldn't mind.
Wide down the leg side. Probably trying a little bit too hard. Oman, as some of you know, most of you would know, that they are placed in the Group B of the qualifying stages. They will be playing Bangladesh, PNG and Scotland. And how much Oman would wish that they finish in the top two.
Well, yes, all the preparation have definitely been keeping in mind the top two finish. On the pads, big shout. The umpire's not interested. Maybe the height.
Very well bowled. The ball probably hurried a little bit. Caught Jatinder in two minds. Struck on the pad, loud appeal. But definitely missing the leg, definitely going down the leg side. So pretty safe so far.
4 runs off 3 deliveries. Bowling some great lines there.
Slight inside edge, probably the ball just about missing the stumps and being played on. So maybe an element of luck there.
We're talking about the top 2 finish for Oman. That'll enable them to pack the bags and get on a plane to Dubai.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what they'll be looking for, because they have really done well. And to have reached here, they enter the 2019 T20 World Cup qualifier in the UAE as one of the group favorites.
All right, in the gap this time now. Well picked up. But the ball doesn't have enough legs. Slowing down as it approached the boundary. But KP will open his account.
anything pitched on the legs, definitely go for runs. Nicely executed. Probably a little anxious moment when the fielder was probably trying to go for a catch, but then was a tough one, I guess.
Well, these days, in the shorter format of the game, literally anything that's flying in and around the fielder, you know it might just be caught. That's a dot ball to end the over. 1 over gone, it's 6 for none. First over. Some questions were asked when the ball was wrapped on the pads a couple of times. But definitely on the luckier side there. Ball drifting down the leg side on a couple of occasions. Zipping past him. What a start. What a delivery for Lahiru.
That's a brilliant line, and obviously again catching Jatinder in two minds. Lucky not to have got an edge. Wonderfully bowled. And Jatinder must consider himself to be lucky that he didn't nick it. Lahiru definitely bowling at a good pace.
Punching it down.
Keeping the line tight, not allowing any room to the batsman. And having seen Jatinder, obviously he would love width, right? Anything which is pitched up or on the leg side, it will definitely go for runs. So it's important that the Sri Lankan bowlers keep Jatinder quiet.
Also from Jatinder's perspective, he wouldn't want to play anything silly. He want to play long. There you go, went inside and a boundary. The umpires will call it a bye because it missed literally everyone. Missed Jati's bat, missed obviously his stumps, and missed the wicket keeper who was diving onto his left.
Definitely some swing came in, and once again Jatinder might feel or definitely is lucky that the ball didn't hit the stumps. Wonderfully bowled, generating a lot of pace, and probably Jatinder needs to relook at how exactly he wants to probably face the batsman. Maybe stand outside the crease a little bit and try and see if he can cut the swing.
Banged it short. He's mixing it up, Lahiru. He definitely has probably thought that Jatinder would want to step out to cut the swing. He said, you know what, I'm going to bang it short. You stay inside the crease, Jati.
He has the next two deliveries. Obviously, there's no bouncer coming up for sure. Was really high. Probably lucky to have got away.
Slightly back of the leg there. Big stocky guy. Lahiru.
Once again, bowling at a very good pace. Obviously, we do not have the speedometer, but generating some very good pace.
Daraz, the sponsors, ensuring that they support well for this tournament. He's trying to get off the strike, Jatinder, but unable to do so. End of the over. A splendid over coming in from Kumara. 2 overs gone, it's 10 for none. KP on strike. Oh, look at that. He's steaming in and not letting the batsman settle.
Pretty good pace, and not sure whether the ball was really there to be hit because it was slightly on the off stump. So lucky once again, probably not to have got an edge. This is some very good, serious fast bowling that we are seeing now from the Sri Lankan opening bowlers.
Again, wanted to play it on the onside. Completely misjudged this delivery. Kashyap Prajapati.
Probably off the bat, yes. There was no signal from the umpire, so definitely took an edge. What's the total you think Oman should have in mind?
This wicket is good for 160. Jati trying to be cheeky. Doesn't help.
That is one of his favorite shots, and he probably needs to look at executing it, provided the ball is maybe slightly outside the leg stump. Picking up a ball on the middle probably will not be a great idea. Concentrating hard. And he needs to, because of the kind of pace that is being generated.
Big Yorker, big shout. And lucky the ball was maybe pitching down the leg side. Binura, trying to be cheeky, is asking his captain to probably go up and look for a DRS.
A lot of action in that delivery. The ball hitting, almost getting York, definitely missing the leg stump. Jati trying to see if he can steal a single. Lucky for him, he decided to go back. Some great action in the first 3 overs.
This time in the slot. And this one has been hit handsomely. One bounce into the fence. Great effort there, but in vain. That will be a boundary. Umpires just checking with the fielder there. Getting confirmations. And the umpire signals a 4.
Lovely shot. Great pickup. And that obviously is one of his favorite shots. Anything on the leg side, shot. And lovely, beautifully pulled for 4.
This is, as you mentioned, one of his favorite shots. We'll see him do that time and again. Great effort there. The ball had already bounced outside the boundary.
Slightly late effort, but nevertheless.
Bowled him. Wanted to scoop it. Came across. Hitting the leg stump, and Binura gets into a little jig. That is the end of Jatinder Singh.
This is exactly what I was saying, that anything that is on the stumps, it's always a huge risk given the kind of pace that is being generated. And Jatinder had to pay the price. The first wicket gone. The score at the end of the 3rd over, 15 for 1.
Opened his stumps. You miss, I hit. That's the story. And that is the end of Jatinder Singh. 5 Runs he made of 12 deliveries, clean bowled by Bin Noura Fernando. The first wicket down for Oman. Akib Ilyas, the new man in. He'll replace Jatinder Singh. 3 overs gone, 15 for 1. Kashyap Prajapati will be on strike for the 4th over. It's going to be Lahiru coming in from the pavilion end. Driven straight to the fielder.
Important for these two batsmen to try and build and not take undue risk. Because obviously there is enough pace on the wicket, getting some good assistance. The bowling has been tight, and these two batsmen need to bat at least till 7th or 8th over.
That'll definitely give them a lot of confidence if there is a platform that's set by these two. Oh, look at that, a wild heave there, Kashyap Prajapati. You need to understand that you're facing a quality Sri Lankan side. Cannot be taking these chances. Was there an edge though? Because the ball did move in. And look at that sheepish smile from Kashyap. Looks like he might just have edged it.
Probably because definitely there was a slight deviation. And once again, Lahiru has played 24 matches, has picked up 29 wickets at an economy of 8.3.
Whoa, what was that? What was that? The wicket-keeper has changed his profession, his sport, and Dinesh Chandimal is now a goalkeeper.
Had it not been for the jump, definitely that would have been a boundary.
Look at that. That's how the world's best goalkeepers save. Brilliantly done.
And obviously he's happy with his effort, so clearly the smile shows.
Sri Lankan football side, you need a goalkeeper. Just for part-time basis. He's not leaving the Sri Lankan cricket side though.
The team needs him now.
They're running for the one quickly and they do it comfortably.
Well judged. Early call, good response from Akib as well. So a single.
Akib Ilyas, the stylish top-order batter. If there could be a second name for him, it could be Swag. Akib Swag Ilyas.
How important it will be for him to show the swag in the way he bats and put some runs on the board and try and take the team as close as possible to the 160 that we are talking about, which will be a competitive total.
The bat turned in his hand. He'll get a single nonetheless.
And clearly there's enough pace obviously. And Kumar has really bowled well. Hardly given any room. Just 3 runs in his second over.
It stings when that happens. When you're playing a fast bowler and the bat suddenly turns in your hand. There's a sting that goes from the handle all the way to your elbow. And it stays for a while.
It's also a good wake-up call.
Picked up beautifully in the gap, in the cow corner, and that will be a boundary. Kashyap Prajapati.
As we said, leg side, anything that's on the leg stump. Clearly an opportunity for them to go for the shot. Beautifully picked up for 4.
It is full, down the leg, and taken good advantage of. The man from Gujarat, Kashyap Prajapati, has spent some time here in the Sultanate of Oman. Played domestic cricket, qualified. Again a fuller length, but this time picked it up from the off-stump line. Get a single, get off strike, and that will be the end of the over. 4 overs gone, it's 23 for 1.
The second T20, Oman versus Sri Lanka, coming to you live from Oman Cricket Academy at Al Amirat. Sri Lanka winning the toss and opting to field first. Oman at the end of the fourth over, 23 for 1. Losing Satinder, trying to play a cheeky shot. Got bowled.
Looks like there will be a change in bowling. There'll be some spin attack coming in early on within the power play. Slightly short. No damage done. As a spinner, extremely important to know where your right length is. Mahesh Theekshana, 27 matches, 22 wickets, an economy of 5.65. Now that is gold. All right, in the slot, uppishly played. And look at that. The umpires raising their hands. The first 6 of the innings, 18-6 overall.
That takes his average slightly up from 5.65, but wonderfully executed shot. Obviously within the power play, so no fielder outside the circle, so that gives an opportunity for him to free his arms, but beautifully picked up for a 6.
Kashyap Prajapati, 15 of 13 with that 6. Sensibly done there. That length is the length where you're teasing and tempting the batsman to come on the front foot, but at the same time not close enough to him to free his arms. Putting up the batter in 2 minds. Slip in position for him now.
And also probably the captain giving Mahesh an opportunity to try and see how he bowls within the power play, just in case.
This time, maximum again. 2 sixes in this over. Picked it up handsomely. Kashyap Prajapati, you beauty.
Probably the experiment not really working. And Oman has picked up 2 glorious 6s in this over. Beautifully swept for a 6.
Again, erring in length, I would say, a little bit. Got enough time, Prajapati, to get underneath the ball and pick it up beautifully.
Clearly the pressure back on Mahesh. And what can we expect? Does he go for another shot? Or does he say, fine, I've already picked up 12?
The 12 that have come in this over have come in form of 2 sixes. So it's been .6, .6. Would the next one be a dot?
Mathematically, yes. And dot it is, probably a loud appeal.
Dinesh Chandimal was excited, was interested, was questioning the umpire till the very end. Mahesh ran after the ball after a faint appeal. All right, so where all can you watch this game? Sony 10 in India, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, 10 Sports in Pakistan, Free Sports in UK, Crick Live in UAE, and if you're going online, we'll tell you where to watch it. Punched it down, will get a single, and that will be the end of the 5th over. 5 overs gone, it's 36 for 1 Oman.
.36 for 1 at the end of the 5th over, and there is a change in commentary. Neil makes his way, and a warm welcome to Suhas. Welcome, Suhas, to the comment box. Good to see you again.
Thank you, Sundaram. That little pause tells you what fills that pause.
Pace back once again, gentle outswing. There's enough pace, and it's quite exciting to see a lot of pace being generated.
Yes, the carry has been excellent today, isn't it? The crowd's also loving every moment of it. Lots of fans for Sri Lanka turning up. And Oman also getting due support. Shamika Pereira in 29 games has picked up a 4 for once. This could be a start of another. This has gone only high. Is this the first wicket for Chamika? He's underneath it himself. He takes it. The roar of the lion tells you everything about the importance of the wicket. It's Kashyap Kumar Prajapati.
He has judged the catch beautifully. It went up high in the air, and sometime back at the start we saw the moon crater look like it's actually going to touch the moon and come down. It went up high. He kept his eyes on the ball and took the catch beautifully. What a great catch. Not easy at all.
The man who got a start has thrown it away. 22 of 19, Kashyap Kumar Prajapati. More sixes than fours in this little innings of his. Oman have lost their second for 36 on the board.
I think it was too early for him to go for the shot. Yes, it was on the right length, but unfortunately he just skied. Couldn't get the distance. A lot of elevation, but back to the bowler. What a wonderful catch.
At number 4, Zishan Maqsood. 39 games, 851 runs. 4 half centuries, and every time he scored a half century, he scored it at a time that his team needed the most. Sometimes for a mending cause after having lost early wickets. Today Oman have lost 2. Very good delivery from Chamika Karunaratne. Not only has he picked up a wicket, he's keeping things tight thereafter. He's given nothing away in this over so far. Sports Eye match ball contest. Who has scored the maximum runs for Sri Lanka in ICC T20 World Cup? If you know the answer, well, subscribe to youtube.com/sportseye and answer the question in the comment section box of the live broadcast of this particular game. One lucky winner will win the signed match ball by whosoever is the man of the match.
Great opportunity.
There's a hint of movement.
I think all the bowlers have really kept the length and line very, very tight, except the 2 sixes in the previous over. The bowling has been very, very effective.
Those 2 sixes just tell you the importance of that wicket for Sri Lanka. 2 new men at the crease.
And within the power play. So I think it's important that there's some sense in batting.
He's thrown his bat at it, and it's got a lot of bat behind this one.
Gets a 6. Obviously not listening to what I was saying. Just went for the shot. But yes, got a 6. Although the fielder made all the effort to catch it. But by the time he could make an attempt.
Here's Bhanuka Rajapaksa.
Oh,
It took it a little easy, I felt. Suddenly realized, oops, the boundary rope's nearby.
if he had stayed on the boundary line, he pretty much had a very, very good chance.
It's something that they practice day in and day out, especially at this level, isn't it? Rajapaksa will not be a happy man at the moment. He's called for 2 right away because there's a lot of real estate to cover on the leg side. And 2 it shall be because the throw is very, very wide. For a moment, even Akib thought 3 is on offer, but Zishan Maqsood was running only one way, that is towards the side screen.
Absolutely.
6 overs gone, eventful indeed this over, 44 for 2 Oman.
Let's quickly look at the highlights of the power play.
This is how the first 6 overs have panned out. Magnificent hitting. And then this shot has been evading Jatinder for a while. Sometimes it's the keeper who ends the story of his innings. Sometimes it's the wicket, and beautiful shots from Kashyap Prajapati. Just when he thought he's got to move on. Skied this one. Chamika Karunaratne nicely underneath it. And Akib Ilyas taking that bouncer on and giving Rajapaksa a run for his money. In the end, it cleared Rajapaksa.
The end of the power play, Oman 44 for 2. Zishan. He has a very strong reputation as a firecracker at the top of the order.
What a delivery first up. Zishan Maqsood. Well, he's still got to get settled. Welcome Maqsood is written all over that ball.
Lovely loopy delivery, dragging him out. And he definitely has a reputation of probably one of the best players of spin bowling in the Oman side.
A little bit of turn. Young Tikshana. Utilizes his height to full extent, doesn't he, Tikshana?
It's important for him to come back strong after the first over.
Absolutely, and he's known for good comebacks in his spells. Remember Abu Dhabi T10, man of the match in the final. That was against Delhi Bulls. Again, he's keeping it very flat.
I think definitely after the first over when he was trying to give a little bit of an air and went for 2 sixes. Has not given much air. And bowling stump to stump. Once again.
The stump to stump is one chapter of the book of spin bowling when it comes to T20 cricket, isn't it?
Not much not much opportunity given by the bowler himself to try and see if there is any spin at all.
Very good stop. He stopped at least 2, if not more.
Brilliant effort. And the moment he gives a little bit of a width, Akib doesn't miss out on an opportunity and try and see if he can do a late cut. Gets it right, but then should have been slightly away from the fielder. Probably could have got him a couple of runs, but equally well fielded.
It was Bhanuka Rajapaksa, this time inside the 30-yard circle. He's allowed the ball to turn and then put it away in the gap. Will not have enough fuel to reach the fence, of course. 2 more runs added to the tally. It's a shot that will make Zishan Maqsood feel much better. Out of all the shots he's offered so far, this one was the best.
48 for 2 after 7.
Jatinder Singh went for 5, trying a shot that's been troubling him for a while. Kashyap Prajapati gets a start, but then skies one straight up in the air. A very good catch by Chamika of his own bowling. Akib Ilyas is still out there along with his skipper, Zishan Maqsood. Sri Lanka is known to have a lot of magicians with the ball in hand, especially spinners. Here is one such. Very good stop. Pathum Nisanka diving full length, ensuring the ball doesn't evade him. The call was for a single only. If it had gone past Nisanka, wasn't to be.
Clearly, after the first couple of overs, Sri Lanka relying a lot more on the spin.
Yes, and Akila Dhananjay also doing exactly what Tikshana was doing, keeping it wicket to wicket and very flat.
And they realized that obviously if you give the Omani batsman a little bit of an air, a very good chance of going for a boundary.
Will be a single. Avishka there in the deep. Absolutely, they're cutting down on boundaries as well after having picked up early wickets. Sri Lanka. Ake moves on to a runner ball 10. He hasn't taken time to get going today. That's one positive for... Yes, that's one positive for Oman.
And do you think that this is a good time for Oman to probably look at consolidating a little bit from now till at least the 12th or the 13th over?
Is that just another way of saying partnership required?
Absolutely, because what they really don't want is losing flurry of wickets.
Well, all the batsmen have decided not to listen to you. That's sailing for 6.
So that's the second time I suggested that they need to build a partnership and it goes for a 6. So maybe if Oman wants to hit a 6, I should suggest a lot more partnership and stable innings.
Excellent shot, picking up the length early, depositing that into the stands. Akila Dhananjaya misses his mark. Zishan doesn't miss out on the opportunity.
He's known to be a great player of spin bowling and clearly showing why. And beautifully swept for a 6.
What champions do is they come back. We've seen Akila Dhananjaya come back from some of the brutal assaults when batsmen like Pollard were after him.
It's important for Zishan to make sure that he doesn't.
Yeah, 55 on the board now for Oman. The half century coming in superb style. Broadcasters and streaming partners: Sony 10 India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, 10 Sports if you're watching it from Pakistan, Free Sports in the UK, Crick Live from the UAE, and streaming partners youtube.com. Oh, that's beautifully hit.
6 more.
Inside out, he's just exploring new areas of interest. Zishan Maqsood. The Oman flags flying high. He's turned it around in 2 deliveries. First on the leg side, then this one even more stylish, inside out. And that's a delivery which will be greeted. That shot will be greeted in the dugout.
And what was interesting to see there is that both the Sri Lankan and the Oman flag was flying at the same time next to each other. So some good team spirit going on.
Finishes with a dot ball, but gives away 13 in the over. Middle part of the over dismantled by Zishan Maqsood. 8 was gone. Oman 61 for 2.
61 for 2 after 8. Akib.
That was there to be driven. He's called for 2, and 2 it shall be.
Both Akib and Zishan batting very sensibly. Not missing out on any opportunity where the ball is there to be hit. Zishan picking up 2 wonderful sixes in the last over.
Yes, as soon as the last wicket fell, the brakes weren't applied. Zishan Maqsood went for counter-attack, and that option has worked. Aqib Ilyas, there's something special about when he swivels. 6 more added to the tally.
What a shot. Magnificent shot. Beautifully picked up. Shot. And just went through the shot. High and handsome for a 6.
Not just Zishan, then Aqib Ilyas is also scoring in the highest denomination.
If the captain can, so can I.
How does Chamika respond to this? Chamika Karnaratne, it's been a mixed bag for him. He's taken a splendid catch, then gets taken to the cleaners. Six of the second ball sets the tone nicely for Oman. 8 runs have come of the first, so there's something changed in these 2 days with this team.
What will Chamika do? Is he going to bowl a bouncer again? Is he going to try a slower one? Or a Yorker length?
Eight of the first 3 then. The crowd swelling. A Sportseye match ball contest. Who has scored maximum runs for Sri Lanka in ICC T20 World Cup? If you know the answer, subscribe to youtube.com/Sportseye and answer the question in the comment section box of the live broadcast of this particular game. One lucky winner will win the signed match ball by the man of the match. And that one lucky winner might be you.
On the leg side, played it nicely for a single.
Change in pace as well.
Yes, I think he's mixing it up nicely. He realizes that, if he keeps bowling at the same pace, there is every opportunity for these 2 batsmen to go for the shots.
Every time it's been pitch short, Aqib Ilyas has taken the bowler on. And all this when there was a fielder lurking in the deep. This is positive batting from both the batsmen out there. Aqib Ilyas and Zishan Maqsood. First the right-hander gets one on the leg side. Lefty gets the same too.
Sensible batting, absolutely. You've already got a 6 in this over. And if you can get one more, that's 10 of the over. And that should be a pretty good over for Oman.
This has been good fight back. Usually when a wicket falls, there's a little bit of time taken by the batsman walking in next. But at the moment, both the batters have decided that if it's in the slot, it doesn't deserve to be in the park. Like this, gets the elevation and will get it in the gap as well.
Once again, the ball was there to be hit, and there's no way Aqib was going to miss out. Gets on the boundary. 14 of the over. 9 gone, 75 for 2.
Was a good try by the fielder in Dasun Shanaka. By the time the ball reached the fence, he had made his mind up that he was only to fetch it and not field. 9 overs gone, 75 for 2.
quickly looking at the bowling card. Fernando, 2 overs 9 runs for 1 and picked up a wicket. Lahiru, 2 overs for 8 runs. Mahesh, 2 overs 17 runs. Chamika, 2 overs 22 runs and picked up a wicket. And Akila, again quite expensive, gave away 13 of the 1 over that he has bowled. 75 for 2 after 9.
Tikshana will continue. That's the miscued shot. Will that yield a wicket? Would be a difficult catch. It's pulled off. What a magical catch it is. The team will swarm towards the fielder. Why wouldn't they? The moment of magic that Sri Lanka require has come by.
And Sri Lanka so badly needed that wicket. And that has only been possible because of this wonderful athletic fielding and a great catch.
Captain setting an example on the field. And that shall mean the captain of Oman will depart. 16 of 8 for Zishan Maqsood. And his departure would mean Ayaan Khan will come to the middle. Another lefty.
How badly Sri Lanka needed that wicket, because Zishan is known to be a very good batsman against spin bowling. And miscued that shot. But full credit to the fielder. And I think the fielder will probably get a lot more credit for that wicket. The scoreboard will never show how difficult that catch was.
If only a column would be added in that scorecard, saying yes, the wicket belongs to Tikshana, but a part of it also belongs to the fielder Ayaan Khan's the new man in. The strike rate will improve as he plays more games.
Absolutely, just played 2 games. And in fact, not just, probably a lot of credit will go to the fielder. And what a brilliant sight it is for anyone watching this game live. A magnificent catch.
Tikshana ensuring that the angles are in his favour and not the batsman's.
Oh, ball, Maya. Nice ball, Maya. Panu.
75 for 3 in the 10th over.
Running the first one hard. The fielder getting there quickly too. Should be a single, and that's all it is. A successful over so far. A wicket and just a single.
It is absolutely imperative that Akib stays there. He has got a good start. He is on 25 of 18, and Ayaan needs to give him company. There is still a long way to go. We're just about halfway through, and important that both these batsmen keep building.
Troubled Ayaan. The first one just went on with the angle and went quickly too.
Some great support from the crowd, the Sri Lankan spectators beating the drums.
Oh, ball, Maya.
Quite a festive atmosphere here.
Every time Sri Lanka play, and no matter where they play, it is festive atmosphere. Every cricket game is a festival in itself then. It's a reason to come together. It's a reason to celebrate with one cause. Ayaan Khan's danced out. That will fall short. There was a split-second decision that Avishka Fernando had to make, whether to go for the catch Or take it on the bounce. He chose the latter. Is Tikshna thinking that's half a wicket for me again? 10 overs gone, 77 for 3. Jatinder Singh went for 5 today, playing a shot that he's not been getting for a while from the middle of this bat. Kashyap Prajapati skied up in the air. A brilliant catch, but Chamika saw the end of his innings. Akib Ilyas playing well for 25. Zishan Maqsood got the toe end of the bat and the ball went straight up in the air. A fantastic catch by Binura. And Mahesh Tikshna got that wicket. And what the wicket did was bring Ayaan Khan to the middle. 5 bowlers used so far by Sri Lanka. Binura Fernando has picked up 1 wicket, but essentially he's picked up more than that because of that catch, isn't it? Lahiru Sudesh Kumara still waiting for the first scalp. Mahesh Tikshana picks up 1. Shamika Karunaratne. What a fantastic catch that was. Went straight up in the air and went very, very high. Had to gather momentum to get there and then pick up a beautiful catch. Akila Dhananjaya has bowled 1 over and was very expensive.
Important for Akila to probably come back because you would definitely like to prove a point or two here. This game coming to you live from the Oman Cricket Academy at Al Amirat. Sri Lanka this evening winning the toss and putting Oman into bat. Oman in the 10 overs are 77 for 3.
Check.
The onus is on Akib Ilyas at the moment.
Couldn't agree more with you. I think these two batsmen again need to probably carry the momentum, not give away or not throw the wickets. And definitely a 160 looks probable.
Taylor was gone, 77 for 3. As soon as starts off well, Kumara. Over to Neil, who's got someone very, very special to talk to. The keeper was interested, bowler wasn't.
Down the leg side, definitely clipping his pads. Let's go back to Neil.
Second T20 game between Sri Lanka and host Oman. With me is the man who matters the most, the birthday boy, the chairman of Oman Cricket, Mr. Pankaj Khimji. Good evening.
Good evening, guys. How are you? Welcome back home.
Thank you so much. I love that statement. Welcome back home. It's absolutely our home. We love being here. Now, birthday celebrations, how have they been so far?
All pushed back to after November. Nothing comes between the World Cup and where we are today. So until the World Cup is not over, all celebrations can wait.
Brilliant. We'd love to join that celebration come the World Cup. Tell me, how's the preparation going on 1 week to the start of the World Cup?
I think we're pretty much on autopilot from now on. I think most of the contractors, most of the stakeholders have delivered well within their prescribed time. I'm very pleased to say that the team that we put on, the project management, the project development, the project coordination, have been absolutely fantastic. To see 2,000 plus people today in the stands is just testimony to that effect. And we've got a brilliant north stand that is looking very good, and hopefully tomorrow we will start putting in the seats into the corporate boxes. So that should be ready as well. So in all practical terms, we are ready.
Brilliant. Now, World Cup with just about a week away, how's the confidence of the boys looking up?
The way they're playing at the moment, and the way they played against Sri Lanka 2 days ago, and the way they played yesterday against Bangladesh, I think we will definitely want to make a statement.
Well, we would love to see this team flying down to the UAE to play the second round.
We're going to UAE.
I love that confidence. I love this confidence of yours. Now where we're standing today, just on the brink of the World Cup. Tell me, come November and post that, what are the plans of Oman cricket? Spill some beans today.
See, we've got so much going for us between now and the next 12 months, in the sense that we've got 4 triangular tournaments coming up all overseas between Namibia, Papua New Guinea, USA and UAE. So the boys will be doing some fair bit of traveling, and we are qualifying for the 2023 World Cup in India. So currently at exactly halfway stage. We've got to play 36 games over 24 months and plus 30 months. We've played 18 games. We're topping the tables. So I'm hoping that we will maintain our lead and our table, rank. And I think another next 5-6 games will definitely ensure that the top 3, that we are within the top 3 who would automatically qualify for the World Cup 23.
So 21 sorted, getting into the next round will confirm 22, and then 23 on cards. Oman cricket definitely looking upwards.
Yeah, so if we go to Dubai, UAE, in this particular format, then we automatically qualify for the 22 October World Cup T20 in Australia. Another few months and we will have probably confirmed that we're going to the 2023 ODI World Cup. Now that's going to be a big one, because that is not it's not for small boys anymore. It's the big boys game. So we get into the big boys league once we get into the ODI World Cup. So I'm looking forward to that.
Definitely, we all are looking forward to that. One last word to the world that's watching us play live as our boys in red. Go ahead and make a statement. Go ahead, sir.
Well, Oman cricket, Oman, the team is definitely made Oman as a country very proud. It's taking Oman as a country into destinations which haven't quite heard about Oman. So whoever says that cricket is only a sport, that's not right. Cricket is a global connector. And, with Oman cricket, if we've achieved a small fraction of our 2040 vision for Oman by putting Oman on the minds of the people, then we've achieved a big task. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And that was Mr. Pankaj Khimji, the chairman of Oman Cricket. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Back to the comms then.
It's always heartwarming to talk to the chairman of Oman Cricket, Mr. Pankaj Khimji, a thorough cricket connoisseur. And we wish him a very, very happy birthday. What a dynamic leader and a visionary he is, isn't it?
Absolutely. He's the one who's pretty much brought the Oman cricket to where it is today. On behalf of the entire comms team and all of us, we wish him a very happy birthday and a healthy life. And immensely grateful for bringing Oman.
The Nanjay was bleeding. The finger which mattered the most stayed down.
Dhananjay almost refused to even get up till he gets his wicket. That was probably the longest appeal I would have heard in a long, long time.
Okay.
If only appeals were given out, depending on the length and intensity or decibel levels. That's a good hit. We get a single in the end.
Okay.
Absolutely, there was no request. It was pretty much forcing the umpire to give a decision. But then, as you rightly said, what mattered was what the umpire thought. Probably the ball would have missed the off stump or the leg stump, the way you want to see it.
Yes, absolutely. The off stump or the leg stump. It still will be considered the off stump, isn't it?
Yeah, it should be.
But it won't be considered pitching outside leg.
Okay.
Just won't be. That'll be another single. Avishka Fernando has been kept busy in this over. Twice in 2 balls. 12 overs gone. Oman 88 for 3. Ayan Khan's showing glimpses of attacking shots, but yet to find that much needed boundary for him. Aqib Ilyas is batting well on 27.
Ayan Khan, 29 years of age. Born in 1992 in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. And the festivity is here to see. As you all know, Navratri is a festival which is celebrated in India. And we can see a lot more color on the ground. And it is fantastic to see this all-round celebration.
Yes, cricket. Yeah, cricket is also a place where it can become an amalgamation of customs, traditions. That's one more reason to be here, isn't it? We already have music, beats, and dance as well. That's on Shanaka. Captain's hurt his finger. This can be a point of concern. It's just on paper a warm-up game. When you get there, you want to stop every ball, give your best all the time.
No bowler wants to give away runs off his own bowling. And quite instinctive, wanted to stop the ball, slightly hurt. But looks to be okay.
He's danced down the track. Will that be taken? Oh, that's a great stop. For a moment, he also dived. But it's you usually talk about the split-second decision, whether you have to dive or stay back. It's after he committed for the dive, he decided to stop the ball because he wasn't going to get there. He stopped the ball from going for a boundary as well. This is excellent proactive work. There, he slipped too.
Lovely stop, absolutely.
Magical effort.
Clearly realizing that, if he had not put in that dive or the effort, he could have given away a lot more than just 1 run.
That's a poor delivery from Shanaka. The batsman just had to help it along its way.
That clearly was a freebie, absolutely. Aqib gets a boundary. Clearly the Oman batsman also joining in the celebration and adding another boundary to the total.
Fine leg inside the circle, not really sure what Darshan Shanaka was trying to do.
Probably
invited Aqib, given him a scratch card, which said 4 runs.
Probably trying for a slow one.
They've gone for the run, non-strikers end. There was no one backing up. And Villiers will have a word. Ayan Khan was running. Usually, when the batsman hits it behind him, well, his pad has turned too. With a turn pad, it just gets more difficult to cover 22 yards, isn't it? The throw was at the right end, but there was no backing up. Had it been a direct hit, curtains for Villiers.
He had almost given it up. Absolutely, he could not have made it. So, again, once again, very, very lucky to be still there.
Akib, first of all, did not expect Ayan Khan to be charging towards him, let alone that bad turning midway. Despite all the adversities, he's made it safely. The throw was also a good one. Had there been backup, the story could have been very different for Oman.
All is well that ends well.
That's a stylish stroke. Not quite sure. He's called for 2, but 2 is not on. Already we've seen some good glimpses of Charit Asalanka being excellent on the field.
Akib has played really well today. He's on 33 of 25.
And the dance will continue. Men, women, everyone joining just like they enjoy cricket. Well, that could have been taken. It still has enough to go for 4. Dasun Shanaka is looking at Bhanuka Rajapaksa with disbelief. Rajapaksa is saying, I offered 2 fingers to it. It still had enough to reach the fence. Just went through him.
Fiercely cut. And as you rightly said, went through him. Despite taking the sting, it just had enough to cross the boundary.
Change in pads for Villiers. 13 overs gone, 100 for 3.
And change in combox as well. Neil, welcome.
Jujja. Metan එක normal තියන් යන්න. මෙතන එක normal තියන් යන්න.
13 overs gone, 100 for 3. Villiers will get a change in pads. Would believe that this pair would be a little bit more.
දැන් ගහන්න ඉන්නේ.
Dasun Shanaka has a lot of thinking to do in the last over. Generated the opportunity. Rajapaksa could have taken that catch. It was regulation for this level and the position he's fielding in. At backward point.
I personally felt that the jump was a little mistimed. The ball just got to his fingers and went off. Probably a little early. And I reckon that it's all about that fraction of a second kind of timing.
It absolutely was. He's thrown his bat at this one. This running backwards and put down. It's all important. Dasun Shanaka knows that this could have been taken. Rajapaksa is giving Dasun Shanaka a stare. Well, that's a catch too.
Well, these catches are difficult when you're running behind, but then in today's time and age, no catch should be dropped.
Felt like he was a little late to latch on to it initially. It was a little late to start going for that catch. We're talking about Rajapaksa's drop. Mistimed jump, but not a mistimed shot. It went for 4. Ayan Khan survives. He's wanting to keep it all. He's missed it completely. Tikshana wouldn't mind this at all. He's asking the batsman and goes cross-batted with a deep mid-wicket in place.
The way he's playing, he's making his intent absolutely clear. Wants to go for the spinner. Ouch.
Tikshana does well. Tikshana has learned from Akila Dhananjaya in the previous over. Now we'll get back to that. Broadcaster Sony 10, India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. Watch it on Sony 10. 10 Sports if you're watching it from Pakistan. Free Sports UK, Crick Live from the UAE. And youtube.com/sportsai are the streaming partners along with Sony Live and Switch TV. We're coming to you live from Oman Cricket Academy. And we've got a great game on our hands. 102 for 3 Oman in 13.3. Tikshana looking for a second wicket.
Red ball.
Look how wide he went. Rahul Asher's decided to not spread the arms.
Well, rightly so. Ayan wanted to go back. All right, so there's a chance for you to win a signed match ball. Who has scored maximum runs for Sri Lanka in the ICC T20 World Cup? We'll tell you the mechanics. He lets it go this time, and Rahul Asher, he'll spread his arms and say, Rahul, naam to suna hoga.
It's one of those moments where Ayan Khan realizes as a lefty I can get a run here, not as a righty.
So we're talking about that question. Who has scored maximum runs for Sri Lanka in ICC T20 World Cup?
That turn, there's so much turn, it's darted. It'll be a wide delivery. Tikshana is coming wide.
What you got to do is go on to youtube.com/sportseye, subscribe and send in your answers in the comment section to win a signed match ball by the man of the match of today's game.
This time, being a righty, will fetch him a single. There's an eager Charita Salanka waiting for that shot to carry to him. This was a good battle.
Interesting contest there between the spinner who's trying to bowl away from the left-hander, and Akib wants to play like a right-hander. Beg your pardon, that was Ayan. Akib now comes on strike.
One of his favorite strokes, but no bat involved this time around, and that's what has saved him. 105 for 3 in 14 overs, Oman. Heartwarming sights these. 105 for 3 in 14, and the dance continues. You're free to join in. If you're anywhere around Muscat, well, drive to Al Amarat. There's fun guaranteed. It's such an amalgamation of culture and tradition that we were talking about. That's a slower delivery. It was a little loopy as well. Will fetch a single. It's such amalgamation of culture and tradition we're talking about. It's the Sri Lankan drums. But what the dance on offer is?
Garba. That's exactly what it is. We are in Navratri right now, and if you are in some parts of Gujarat, you'll experience this. In fact, every nook and corner of Gujarat you'll experience this. In Mumbai, you will experience this.
You have hosted many a Garba night, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, I have. It's just another level of energy that flows in during the Garba season.
Swing and a miss. Shanaka has decided to bowl slower deliveries. Batsman is tangled in the question of how slow is it going to be. Support for Oman as well. A little quiet at the moment. Soon they'll be applauding. All they are waiting for is one good tong from Aqib Ilyas's bat. Shanaka, on the other hand, knows that this over has started off well for his country and himself. Is this going to be a slower delivery?
Up in the air, now there's a chance. Fielder running hard. He takes it and he fumbles it.
Would you believe it? He'd reached the ball. He'd caught hold of it as well. Young Pathum will get those high fives nonetheless because that effort was magnificent. He reached the ball. That was a catch for a mini microsecond, but then the elbows, when they touch the ground, leather pops out.
Well, yes, sir. If you were to actually manage and count the number of steps he took from where he took off and measure the distance, he probably would have beaten Usain Bolt in that 100-meter sprint.
Aqib survives.
Slower one. This time again, up in the air. Will land safely between two fielders. And a couple of runs nonetheless.
Despite knowing that it's going to be a slower delivery, Aqib wasn't able to middle it.
Probably mistimed it, probably went too early into the shot. There's a fraction of a second that he took to adjust, but didn't really completely get onto the shot.
What on his balance?
Balance, or probably the premeditated mindset. Because he was already ready for that shot. Also, Shanaka announced it that he's going to bowl that short slower one. We could see it off his hands.
And the field set is also such that mid-wicket is open. This one followed. The batsman was a little quick. Shanaka just suggesting I'm still a medium pace bowler.
Every time, as a batsman, you want to attack the bowler would want to come back with a shorter one right onto your body. That is the aggression a fast bowler should have. It's a no-brainer. You need to have that in your armory if you're a fast bowler.
Rasun Shanaka is also carrying the towel, and the towel is out. How much dew is there? Ayaan Khan's been good with taking singles, but still, it's that conversion of singles into two that needs to come by quicker. And those boundaries as well is still searching for them. 15 overs gone, 112 for 3 Oman. .37 dot balls, 25 singles, 10 times they've gone for twos. This is an excellent stat, isn't it? It just tells you how many times they've converted ones into twos. And those 5 boundaries and 6 sixes in the Oman innings. They believe the aerial route more this time around. Cricket will be discussed in every nook and corner. With the T20 World Cup coming up as well, you can expect that.
This is a sport that brings in together people from all around the globe. They speak one language, and that is cricket. Ayaan Khan.
Ayaan Khan gets the bottom edge. Oh, it's hurt him a lot. That stump mic tells us the intensity of Aqila's shout. Leather can sting. Wet leather can sting a little bit more.
And if you taped your fingers, maybe because you're nursing an injury, well, then that oohs and ahs will be magnified. Right, he's looking for a change in the bat there.
First the pads, now the bat. Anything and everything for you, Aqib, is what his teammates are telling. 42 of 31, he's held the innings together after the captain's departure.
Sufyan going with the bats. How many willows in their kit bags?
Well, this is why it was changed. Magnificent hit, straight as an arrow.
New bat brings in luck for Akib. And look at that. Some solid power coming through. Motored it down straight, maximum.
Just picking the length early as well. Had the room to go through. And such a safe area he's chosen.
You bowl over the bowler's, you bat over the bowler's head. Two things that happen. A, it's in the safe zone. And B, you're hurting the ego of the bowler.
Yeah, first the finger of Akila, now the ego, you mean? Akila Dhananjaya, how can he make a comeback here? He was just brilliant to watch against India, I remember. Got Kohli, then Rahul, all of them bowled. He's after it himself. 2 runs will be easily taken.
And that brings up the half century for Akib. Akib, swag, Ilyas. That's his half century. 50 of 33 coming in good time and at a good time. There's cheer coming in from all around the ground. The spectators who've stood up to him. 3 fours, 3 sixes and 50 of 33 delivery. Look at that strike rate. 151.52. But the job's not over. He'll have to stick around. He'll have to stick around for long.
Brilliant innings. Can he continue? He's made the most of those little lives that he got as well, but taking nothing away from him. Some of those shots were magnificent to watch. Anything short, he pounced on it. Anything wide, he smashed them straight. Akib Ilyas has left no part of the ground unexplored in this little innings of his 51 of 34. And I say little because there's still a long way to go for him.
Ayan now stepping down. Straight to the fielder. He's not happy with the way he played that shot. But nonetheless, will get a single and that'll bring Akib back on strike.
I think somebody is going to address the elephant in the room. Then Ayan is struggling. Yes, he's putting bat to ball, but he's not putting it in the gap. This was the moment which got him to the half century. Raise the willow. Look at the dugout with reassurance that I'm still there. And I'll provide you the finish of this kind. Will it be taken? No! A jumping effort. A jumping effort from Charita Solanka, only if he were 4 feet taller.
And the confidence that he had, Akib, when he hit that shot, he didn't want to run for that. Looked up skywards, knew that the ball was going. And just enough. Look at that dive, look at the jump. Wow. The effort, the athleticism, all in there, all in there. Look at that, Akib, it's not moving. That's the swag. That's the swag that I'm talking about.
Akib Ilyas has played a lot of good innings on this particular ground, knows every inch of it. Charita Solanka for the second time, I felt, yes, that was a brilliant effort. But could he have taken one more step closer to the boundary rope? He had a little bit more space to cover, but not that much time to calculate that. 16 overs gone, 129 for 3. Chamika. I think they're big hitters in the hut waiting to unleash. Ayaan Khan has got to look for the glory shot now. 18 of 22. At a stage where Akib Ilyas will also feel the pinch if Ayaan Khan plays a couple of dot balls. He's got to do better. He's trying, but the bowler is succeeding at the moment. Akib Ilyas was at the danger end. That's Iqbal Ariwala. Very busy all the time. And a thorough lover of cricket, isn't it?
Well, they all are here at the Oman cricket. Every single person who's in the administration of the game, they all love the sport to bits. Running around, ensuring that everything goes in order.
And you need that passion, isn't it? That is exactly why Oman cricket is where it is today.
This time, didn't really time it well. Doesn't have enough. Oh, he's dropped it. Ran, reached, elbow on the ground, ball pops out.
It's been that sad story for Sri Lanka today. Reaching hasn't been a problem. Clinging on has been. Every time those elbows touch the ground, the ball just pops out because the clasp loosens. Now this actually popped out even before the elbows reached the ground. Aqib Ilyas is thanking his stars. A cat has 9 lives. Aqib Ilyas is racing with the cat.
Chamika's reaction is absolute meme material. I'm telling you, it's going to be the next viral meme, Chamika.
Even if it wasn't, you've given the idea.
A single there for Aqib, that brings him to 60. He's building his innings really well, taking those chances, going for those big ones.
At the moment, what's required is the assault. 133 on the board. Ayan Khan struggling a little bit. Aqib Ilyas is feeling that pressure. 60 of 37. He's been excellent, Aqib. But that big assault has to come from Aqib Ilyas's bat.
I think Ayan will go for this.
He has to go for every delivery, isn't it? Just falling short of Tikshana. Chamika is furious. Chamika thought that was a catching opportunity.
I actually would want to watch that and see how close was that. Playing cheeky. Oh, there was. I think there was. He should have probably taken that little step ahead. Late reaction. He waited for the ball. The ball was dying onto him. All he had to do was take a couple of steps forward. Anticipate the ball that would die in front of you. These catches are difficult, mind you. But then at this level, look at this. He's providing more meme material. Chamika.
Chamika is suggesting that should have been taken as a bowler who's just taken a spectacular catch early on. Everything has to be taken. It was going to be a slower delivery that carries to the fielder this time. Chamika knows, Chamika believes that yes, the fielders can take the catches.
He's taken the big man, Aqib. Now the equation might change. This could be the game changer. It might just bring down the run rate a tad. That was a slower one. Back of the hand delivery. And comfortably coming underneath. I'm glad that he took it for his own sake. Chamika, look at that aggression.
Tells you what it means to him. It's the big wicket of Aqib Ilyas. The man who was holding the innings together, the man who was promising an assault towards the end, has gone after building the initial bricks of the launch pad. 60 of 38. More sixes than fours in this innings as well for him.
Fantastic knock coming in from Aqib. Celebration still on. They're probably thinking that the next man in will bring in more.
More reasons to celebrate cricket. Naseem Khushi comes to the middle. 11 games. Don't look at those sixes or runs. Look at that strike rate. He's not here to score those 50s and 100s. He's here to provide that gritty 30.
He's able to do that here. Will ensure that the team gets across the 160 mark.
He does. He starts off with a huge hit. Naseem Khushi was waiting, raring to go. He was the caged bull.
That one opportunity that he got converted into a max. 17 overs, 140 for 4.
It's one thing to come in and hit a 6. It's quite another hit it so high and with such authority. We've got Pakistan fans as well. Well, we were talking about looking at the strike rate. Naseem Khushi 600 at the moment.
He'd want to continue from there on. Naseem 6 of 1, Ayan 19 of 24. Now maybe Ayan should be just thinking of getting those singles early on, giving the strike to Naseem and let Naseem explode. Got 3 more overs to go, 18 deliveries. Out of these 18 deliveries, if Naseem Khushi can bat for even 12, I'm sure he'll be able to provide, if not more, at least 25 more runs. And 25 more runs from here on means you're going talking 165.
Yes, 165 plus, in fact. I would still say let not Ayaan Khan go for that single. Let him go for the glory shot. Even if he gets out there Sandeep Gaur to come in, Kalimullah to come in.
Well, yeah, and all of these guys can hit. Last 3 overs. Can Sri Lanka pull this back? Can they pick a couple of wickets? Lahiru Kumara. Yorker length delivery, first up. Will get a single there. And that will bring Naseem Khushi on strike.
Yes, suddenly those Yorkers have to be even more pinpoint. Broadcasters and streaming partners today, Sony 10. If you're watching it from India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. If you're in Pakistan, you're watching it on 10 Sports. You can watch it on Free Sports from the UK, Crick Live UAE, and streaming partners youtube.com/sportseye, Sony Live, and Switch TV.
Drawing the seam up. Extremely important. And the slightest of dew, the wet seam becomes difficult to grip on. There's a change in the field there. Mid-wicket coming in. We want to have a look who's going out for Naseem Khushi. Send everyone out. Send everyone possible out. Bowled him. An opportunity, a Yorker, and bang! The furniture is shattered and Naseem Khushi will walk back.
Yes, the Yorker had to be absolutely pinpoint, and that's what it was. Khushi playing a nothing shot in the end. You miss, I hit. Khushi's equation was simple. Lahiru strikes again. Khushi's gone, 6 of 2. They needed more big hits from him, Oman. Wasn't to be today. $141 for 5 in 17.2. Ayaan Khan struggling. Gods come to the middle. It's Naseem Khushi walking back who had just hit a 6. Game's nicely poised for Sri Lanka to claw their way back in and stop this assault.
Well, this is their time. This is their opportunity. A new man in and a man who's been a little sluggish.
Gods looking only at gaps. It doesn't matter. Brilliant stop by the fielder. Gods thinking that's a boundary that's been stolen away from me. That's such a good stop in the end. Lahiru is getting what he's requiring from the fielders.
It was way too close to cut, but he waited for the ball, played it very late, but that effort, absolutely worthy of everything that one could put on field.
Commitment today has been incredible. Yes, there was a drop catch of Lahiru Kumara. No, Rajapaksa rather, off Dasun Shanaka's bowling. Yes, the balls were popping out once they reached the ball, the Sri Lankan fielders. On the field, if it's not been a catching opportunity, some of the good stops we've seen today have been really, really incredible indeed. He's got him. He's only seeing the base of the stumps, not the batsman. Ayaan Khan's misery has come to an end.
He was struggling. Every single run that came to him was something that he had to struggle for. And eventually, the good old Yorker comes into play. He's taken 2 of those, 2 Yorkers, absolutely on the money. He would be practicing with a boot there on the line and getting it right every single time. Ayaan Khan walks back.
There might be a congratulatory call from one of the greats of Sri Lanka, Malinga, today. Ayaan Khan, 20 or 26. He was putting pressure on the other batsmen as well.
Nadeem on strike. A full toss to start with. And a cheeky single directed, and the umpire raises his finger. Sri Lanka coming back strong, and how this is the over that is changing everything. The dynamics have changed. The game that was swaying in favor of Oman, all of a sudden in that one over, it looks like the cyclone has hit the Oman cricket team, and it's favoring now in going in favor of Sri Lanka.
Scattered at either ends. Stumps scattered at either ends in the span of 2 balls. And 2 wickets. Lahiru knew that the direct hit was required. Nadeem is finding 22 yards to look like 100 now.
Mohammad Nadeem going on a duck in the very first delivery. A while back, just a while back, the scores looked so completely different. 142 for 4 and now 142 for 7.
We were talking about Sri Lanka clawing their way back into the game. No, they're roaring their way back into this. Just when the assault was required from Oman, 2 new men at the crease, wickets falling galore. This has been the over which has turned it around for Sri Lanka. The momentum with the Lankan Lions. Oman trying to build some momentum, get a good finish, and will Sandeep Gaur be the man for them?
Everything has changed in span of 5 deliveries.
That's in the gap. That will fetch Sandeep Gaur his first boundary and will calm the nerves of everyone.
This was it. 4 runs, 1 bounce into the fence, and that'll be the end of this over. 18 gone, it's 146 for 7. Ahmed Fayaz Butt, 7 matches, rotate strike. There you go, there you go.
Had that been a direct hit, Fayaz Butt would have worked. Sandeep Gaur would have instructed him, just put bat to ball, I'll do the running first. Expect me to call.
Well, that's what it is. Eventually. All right, your time to win a signed match ball by the man of the match of today's game. Subscribe to the YouTube channel of Sports Eye and answer the question. Who has scored maximum runs for Sri Lanka in the ICC T20 World Cup? Go ahead, youtube.com/sportseye. Slower one in the hands of the fielder, and they'll go for the single. You don't want to run for the overthrows. No need.
This is the business end of the game for Oman with the bat in hand. Sandeep Gaur has to farm the strike. Gets on strike. Can he make a difference? Now, who scored the maximum runs for Sri Lanka in ICC T20 World Cup? The question's simple. All you got to do is go to the comment section of youtube.com/sportseye, subscribe to it, and there you will get to win the signed ball by the man of the match if you get the right answer. That Oman are thanking stars at the moment. They're thanking their stars. Sandeep Gaur wanted to go inside out once again. Probably trusted the toe end too much.
Landed right in the center of the Bermuda Triangle. 3.
If the ball's in the gap, they'll pick up a single. Your thoughts?
Take the single. Get Ahmed Fayaz should take the single and bring Sandeep on strike. Because that's a simple mathematics. We've seen Sandeep Gaur going for the big ones. He's able to connect them. Simple. You don't need to be the hero. You can be the hero by taking the single.
Sometimes the heroes are born at the non-striker's end as well, is what needs testing. And might not be a bad idea because Shanaka has been superb so far. Yes, the singles come by. Strap onto your seatbelts. He's a little dejected. He thinks that could have been a boundary because it was a poor delivery according.
That shot to